welcome to Collection Connection. I'm Nick the Great.
Dave Tyran Smith.
All right, you asked for it, you wanted it. It's been a long time coming. Here we go. This is going to be part 4. Episode 1, we submitted a Marvel Milestone Edition X-Men #1, or the X-Men #1, remake of the 1963 comic, and it was certified via certificate from
Dynamic Forces.
Dynamic Forces. We've got a shot of it over here. We had submitted this one to the CBCS, which at the time had just started their signature verification through handwriting analysis.
And it came back.
Failed. It came back failed, and that launched us into an investigation into the legitimacy of Dynamic Forces
and CBCS.
At
the time, we didn't know who was in the right, who was in the wrong.
No, definitely, we didn't know that, and we don't know who's right or wrong for sure. But I'll say this: it's been a while since we've touched on this subject, and we've contacted a lot of different people about this. A lot of people were mad at us about the lines of questioning that we had about this situation. They didn't want, they gave us quotes, but they refused to let us air them. No, you cannot air any emails about our conversations about this matter, but we stand by our product says Dynamic Forces.
Yes.
CBCS.
Someone that's no longer with Dynamic Forces.
Yes, a former high-ranking, top 3 employee of Dynamic Forces. And so we stand by. He says we stand by our service, or we stand by the verification there, and we don't need a third party to authenticate our signatures. So it got us thinking. Okay, so
let's try something that we saw get signed.
Yes, definitely. Try something that we saw get signed, that we witnessed. I could have encapsulated it. It's in really good shape, and it's still somewhat accepted out there as a legitimate signature because of Dynamic Forces' reputation.
But if there's something out there that encapsulates it and says that it's not certified, that they can't authenticate the signature, it's no longer...
I don't even want to bother slabbing it.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, after that, we're like, okay, what do we have laying around? We've got a high-dollar book laying around. Now, those of you who follow the show, I was really bummed when Herb Trimpe passed away because I was not able to get a sketch from him. I was a fame whore, and I went to go be on the TV show The Toy Hunter, and I spent my money that I was going to use to get a Herb Trimpe Wolverine sketch to pick up a digital, well, not a digital blueprint, but blueprints, original hand-drawn blueprints of the Toy Biz Rogue action figure from the 90s. And I was able to be on the show and whatnot, but 6 months to a year afterwards, Herb Trimpe passed away, and I've got the blueprint's cool and all, but I would have much rather had the sketch. Herb he was great. He was a great guy. I got cool pictures with him and whatnot, and I was able to get a signature from him, and on the book I had got it signed on at the time, it wasn't in that great a shape, and it wasn't widely accepted as a super top tier book, but it became very valuable to me.
Yes.
Sentimental wise. So that book was The Incredible Hulk 180. I also got it signed by Len Wein at the same time I had got my Giant Size X-Men signature series. So I was able to witness both Herb and Len sign this book.
As you can see in the image right now, this was certified as authentic signatures.
Yes, it was certified, and we got a decent score, a 5.5 on it. I never graded it. I didn't think the book was good enough, but Recipes for Dripping,
Yes.
and Len Wein. The cameo first appearance of Wolverine. I think that's a good book. That's a great book to have done.
Now, the fact isn't the score or anything like that. It's that the signatures came back verified.
The signatures came back verified. Now, as time has gone by, CBCS has gained tons of reputation. I mean, David was really skeptical about the CBCS when it first came out. They were the news thing. They were a flash in the pants. They're everywhere now. Yeah. They're all over eBay, and their scores, they're not quite on par with CGC just yet, but the gap is closing.
Yeah.
The gap is closing. I'll take a CBCS book. I trust them. I trust their services.
I trust them as well. This is one of the things that showed, now, who was in the right, who was in the wrong, Dynamic Forces or CBCS?
It's still up to speculation. For some people out there, we don't have concrete proof. In my opinion, I trust CBCS now. And especially because we got straight answers from CBCS. And we got Dynamic Forces was almost insulting us.
Yes.
For asking the question about the situation. They were flagrant, they were rude, and it wasn't necessary. Not Dynamic Forces, but an ex-employee of Dynamic Forces. So, in my opinion, and the opinion of the Collection Connection, I would go with CBCS. That's the conclusion of our investigation.
There could be other reasons why it came back uncertified, though. Throughout years of signing, sometimes artists, writers, signatures vary a little bit. As you can tell, Stan Lee's signature right now is getting looser and looser, as in his prime, it spelled out perfectly Stan Lee. It could be that this was taken at a later time.
Well, watching Stan Lee at signatures now, God bless him, but it's almost like Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah.
As they're dragging Stan Lee, you see him sitting there taking pictures with the people, and I got a picture with Stan, and it was kind of sneaky the way we did it and whatnot, but it was lively. It didn't seem like a Movieland Wax Museum of Stan there with us,
But, there could be different varieties of reasons why it would come back uncertified. Maybe they didn't have enough examples to judge it.
Okay, so we're gonna keep sending some stuff to CBCS. I got a couple books that I had got signed, and a book that I purchased off a buddy of mine that had got signed. That they weren't encapsulated, but they're pretty top dollar books, and to have them loose and signed, it's kind of silly. So we're going to submit them to CBCS. Once again, I know that these were all signed. I was there to personally witness them all being signed. So, for fun, for the show, what I want to do is, you guys can comment below. Let us know which books you would like us to send to CBCS. And those will be the ones that we send off. Yeah. We'll give it a little bit of time before we send them off. But here's a book that's out that we're putting up, possibly. Saga #1. Pretty good book. Yeah. One of Image's top titles right now. Yes. And it is signed by Brian K. Vaughan. It's a really good book in really great shape. Just comment below if you'd like to vote for that one to be submitted. I've got a really, really clean king size Avengers #10. This is the first appearance of Rogue, signed by Mike Golden. How many times have you seen him out signing?
Not too much.
Yeah, he's an industry legend. You don't see him out doing, at least on the West Coast, on the signing circuit anymore. So, and then we have got a book that's skyrocketed recently, especially after the Deadpool movie, It is the New Mutants, number 87. First appearance of Cable, signed by Rob Liefeld. Friend of the show.
Yeah.
And you can't have a New Mutants 87 without having the New Mutants 98 in tow. New Mutants 98, first appearance of Deadpool, signed by Rob Liefeld. Let us know what you want us to send in to the CBCS. We appreciate your feedback, and when it comes back, we'll put it on our show. Okay. The goal is to send these all out eventually.
Yes.
So, it's up to you guys, the order that we send them out. So, let us know by subscribing, liking, commenting below. Hope you enjoyed the CBCS investigation into Dynamic Forces.
The investigation conclusion.
The conclusion, definitely. We're moving forward with CBCS, not so much with Dynamic Forces anymore. So, I hope you guys enjoyed it. For those of you who've been waiting and been patient with us, we appreciate it, and we appreciate your subscriptions. And thanks for watching Collection Connection. For the Collection Connection, I'm Nate the Great.
Dave Tyrant Smith.
And we'll see you next episode.